Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and talk about some of my favorites, some of the best or secret Instagram tricks and tips that you can go ahead and utilize in 2022. Now, this is a darker themed video. It just kind of happened to be that way. The sun isn't sunny like it used to be, but let's go and talk about some of my favorite ones. Now, first of all, some of these first ones are actually within stories themselves. So if we make our way over to our stories panel by swiping over to the side right here, you'll basically be able to come straight into your story panel. Most of you probably know this by now. At the bottom, you have the ability to show posts, stories, reels, lives, and so much more down there as well. Now, one of the cool things within Instagram for posting to your story is actually making collages. I think some of you may know this by now, but within the left side, you have a few different of these panels. You have the AA option, which is that create option, which allows you to go ahead and get a little bit more, creativity within your specific, story if you're posting. But you can also click that drop down arrow and find tons of different options here as well. Now, one of the cool things is we have boomerang, we have layout hands-free, multi-capture level, and we have these, ability at the bottom. But under layout, if you go and click there, you will actually have the ability of making a collage on Instagram, which is so cool. So it works just like any other photo thing. So you can go ahead and zoom in and zoom out here. You can use the ultra wide sensor. You can go and capture it like this. You can go and do the exact same thing here too, and just keep kind of going on with it. And you can go ahead and make a collage this way, which is so awesome. So this is something that I personally use all the time, and I know a lot of other people that do this too. And some people were confused at how to do this, so that's pretty much how to do it there. Now you can always exit out of it by clicking there. You'll come straight into your post panel again. But swiping back out, we can go and change this back into its standard mode. And another thing some people actually have questions with that I find on my second channel all the time is searching for filters. So sometimes there can be a new filter that comes out that a lot of people are using. So, let's say a new filter comes out next year and you're wondering how to find that filter. Well, instead of searching for a video every single time, which, I would still recommend doing it. So you can come across my second channel at the very bottom here, you can scroll all the way to the right side and you will see this specific little search icon. Now, what does the search icon do? Well, it allows you to search for different filters. So what we can do here, and this is so crazy, we can actually click here and we are essentially added into a completely different portion within Instagram, which is an effects gallery. It's like an effects store basically. So what we can do here is we can search through all these other filters that are available and we can just pretty much see what other people are using, and we can also use those filters as well. So let's say we find a really cool filter like this one, right? We can go and click on it and use it that way. But to search for a filter, all we have to do is on the top right corner, we can go and click on that search icon, and here we can go ahead and type in and search for the filter that we want. So like I mentioned, for some people out there, they want to go ahead and utilize certain filters for whatever the case is, whatever filter they could come across. Well, you can go and search for those filters here, and that's pretty much how to do it. This is one of my favorite things for sure, and I love seeing these types of filters without a doubt. Now, another cool thing within your Instagram story, and this might be the last one I'll talk about stories wise, is actually adding captions to your specific Instagram story. So let's say I'm going through and I'm just talking as I normally do, right? And I'm just making an Instagram story as most people do. Once I let go, we're back into our standard panel. Now, some of you may know this, some of you may not, but there's a lot of different customizability options that we have within Instagram stories. We can always swipe right or left to add certain different filters and flares and all that stuff. But the gallery or the sticker gallery within Instagram stories is really, really cool. So that third option up here, we can go and click there and we will get into this panel. Now this is insane. So it looks like there's already new updates for different, panels like this. So what you can do always is you can always add a location, you can add yours. So if you want other people adding to, your specific thing as well, we have a lot of different cool things here. And there's a lot of different options here as well, which I love seeing, and I love seeing these types of things. But we now have this new captions toggle. So if I were to go and click on captions, you will see that, basically what I was just talking about, Instagram will now go ahead and allow us to make a story with those captions. So why is this cool? Well, if for some reason you want to go ahead and make it, your video available to a wider range of audiences, well, you can go ahead and make this available to more people. And sometimes there's a lot of times people watch Instagram stories without the sound on. So by ticking on this little toggle, you basically be able to go ahead and, kind of see it like this. Now you can also customize this by clicking on the buttons on the bottom and kind of changing it from here. This is another popular one I've seen, but this is probably the most popular one and it looks really nice. So these are just some of the first Instagram story things that I would recommend looking at. And that's something I always see. I just love seeing new stories and new things added within Instagram. And that's a really cool option right there. Now, another thing I want to show you is actually within your profile, itself. So you can actually see posts that you've liked on Instagram extremely easily. So let's say you want to see, photos and everything that you've looked at before. that you want to see that you like, well, what you can do here is you can make your way over to your profile. You want to click on the three lines in the top right corner, and you'll pretty much come into here. Now you'll see a lot of different things that come up, but what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and click on your activity. Now when we click there, we'll see a lot of different things that come up, but we'll see things like, time spent, photos and videos, interactions, and so many different things. But right here under interactions, we want to go and click here, and we can not only see photos and videos that we've liked, but also story replies and comments that we've left on other people's photos as well. Now, this may be a little cringy for some people depending on how far back you go, but if I go and click on likes, you can see all the photos for the most part that I've liked, and this is pretty accurate. You can see, I've liked random photos and videos from all across the world. So this is a really cool thing that we have, and I don't even remember liking some of these things, but for some photos like this, you can go look back and see like, oh, I like this photo, and you can pretty much go on from there. And yeah, comments too. You can see what photos and videos you left comments on, which is so crazy. Even story replies, which is so cool. So those are a few different options we have there, which is so awesome. But you can also see, like the links you visited, recently deleted photos, so many different things. This is a really cool option that we have within Instagram that I love seeing. Now, let's say, for example, you want to repost someone else's post on your Instagram story. I've seen this so many times and so many people do this. And I've been kind of using Kim Kardashian as an example. So let's say I love this photo from Kim Kardashian, right? And I want to go ahead and actually post this and repost it on my Instagram story. Well, to do that, all you have to do is at the bottom left of the photo, you'll see your like icon, the comments icon, but then you'll see this little direct message icon. Now, what is that icon? Well, that allows you to not only direct message this specific icon to other people, but you can actually post it on your Instagram story as well. So it says add to post story, whatever. Well, I post this to your story. All you have to do is click on that option, and you will then be able to go ahead and actually pretty much post it on your story, which is so cool. Now, like I mentioned, you can also share this story out to other people too. So if you want to go and share it to your friends or whatever, well, you have that option there too, which is so cool. And that's another thing I always take a look at because it's so interesting to me of how Instagram just basically wants you to use stories all the time. Now, another funny thing that I've seen before is actually seeing the first direct message that you sent to somebody. So the first DM. So let's say you and your significant other, you talked on, Instagram a lot, and you just want to see what the first message was. Well, in this case, I have this specific message that I had before, right? I just sent it to myself. Well, instead of scrolling through constantly and seeing the first message, all you have to do on iPhone or on Android for the most part is click somewhere on the status bar. So all you have to do is click on the status bar like that, and you will automatically be directed to the top portion of that page. Now, sometimes it may take a second for it to load, so you may have to click here again to just keep loading to the top of the page, but it's still an extremely cool option that we have, and that's another thing I would recommend taking a look at as well. But within one of the more recent versions of Instagram, I think within a year from now, you actually have this new option within your direct messaging panel, which is actually vanish mode. Now, what is this? Well, essentially, if you swipe down from the bottom, you'll see this little thing that comes up and it says swipe up to turn on vanish mode. Now, what vanish mode is if I go ahead and swipe up, it is basically this like secret area within Instagram, which actually allows you to go ahead and DM other people if you want to, without them saving the messages. It says seen messages will disappear when you close the chat. So basically, I think you may be able to actually DM them or something like that. I don't know. Like I think you may be able to screenshot these messages too. I'm not too sure, but whatever you type in here, right? Whatever you type in, basically they're going to be able to see it one time and then they're never going to be able to see it again. It's basically like Snapchat, but without the ability of saving messages. I think if you hold it down, you can see we don't really have the ability to save it. If you want to leave vanish mode, you just swipe up again and you can go and leave it, and that's it. That message will not be here. And if you go and swipe up again, I think it'll temporarily be there for the time being, but it's not there forever. So if you want to swipe out of it, you just swipe up like this, and that's pretty much the process. So those are some of my favorite, secret, best, whatever, Instagram tricks and tips. If you have any other questions or thoughts, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.